And we all feel that businesses change because it's kind of crunchy, right? We live in our business worlds and we feel the speed, we feel the urgency, we feel this sort of pressure to do something different. But we haven't yet quite figured out how to adapt. We call this the now revolution.
Now, the best way to move along that humanization highway is to have more cars. And we talk about this concept in the book a lot, about volunteer marketing armies, about the fact that you will have people in your company that are in the marketing department, that are in the customer service department. But the best way to win in the now revolution is to have as many people as possible in your company active. We talked about that notion of connecting everybody in your company, being able to be the first point of contact. That's what we're talking about here. So what you want to do is survey your existing employees and say, I don't care what your actual job function is, it's not relevant. What I want to know is, how much are you involved in social media personally? Right? Are you all over Facebook personally? Are you all over Twitter personally? Even if it has nothing to do with your job, you need to harvest the passion of those people. Because passion trumps position in social media. It's not about this person is the director of whatever or the vice president of this, ergo they have to be in social media. It's about who has a passion for it. Because I'll tell you one thing that's absolutely true, and I don't care what kind of company you are or how big you are, if you don't love social media, you suck at social media. The Chinese symbol for opportunity is also crisis. And you probably will never have a social media crisis hit your brand. But what if you do? Unstable, different from the norm, highly negative. Those are the things that make something a crisis. Now, if that happens, there's a few things you got to do. The first thing is to acknowledge the crisis, right? The second thing you've got to do is work through your crisis scenario plans in your organization, right? And every company needs to do this. You got to fight social media fire with social media water, okay? So if people are freaking out on YouTube, you've got to answer on YouTube. If people are freaking out on Twitter, you answer on Twitter. If people are freaking out on Facebook, you answer on Facebook. A lot of companies totally screw this up. You've got to make an FAQ, right? Create a house. Could be on Facebook, could be on your blog, could be somewhere else that has all the facts. Here's what happened. Here's what we did about it. Here's what we're doing now. Here's how to make sure it doesn't happen again, right? One place, one page, one URL that covers all your bases. And you've got to give people a pressure release valve, right? You have to give people a place to have a conversation with you, a dialogue. Maybe it's a discussion board, right? I recommend that everybody keep the discussions tab available on their Facebook page.
But the truth is, social media is measurable. We have an awful lot of information out there, and that's actually part of the problem. So when we talk about we can't measure social media, that's not really what we're saying. So the whole measurement of social media thing is really not as complicated as we make it out to be, because there's a huge plethora of information out there that we can actually use. The problem is we're actually not making it simple enough to apply to the business goals that we have.
Yeah, I mean, the first way to kind of get through that morass of potential data points is to understand, why the hell are you in social media to begin with? There's no law yet that says you have to be in social media. Yet. Right? So there's really only 3 rationales for doing this, because it ain't free, right? Social media isn't inexpensive, it's just different expensive, right? So there's only 3 reasons why you might want to do this. 1, awareness. Let's make people understand who we are who don't already know who we are, right? Let's introduce the company, let's introduce a new product. The second thing would be sales. Sorry, I have a little reach problem.
Bad handoff.
Sales, right? So let's translate the awareness that we have into people actually buying stuff from us, fancy that. And the third one would be loyalty, right? Let's make sure that the people who have bought from us before buy more stuff from us in the future. And that they tell their friends so that they buy stuff from us. Awareness, sales, loyalty.